You know, some people may not know this, but last year is not the only year considered to be the 30th anniversary of Chippendale Rescue Rangers. As a matter of fact, this very year that we're in now, 2019, this very year is also considered the 30th anniversary of Chippendale Rescue Rangers due to the fact that it was 1989 where they became a household name. They became established, they became a worldwide phenomenon, and it was all through their debut in syndication. A debut that happened 1 year prior to Tailspin and the Disney Afternoon, which they would be a part of, debuting in 1990. However, on a series like this, which is called How It Should Have Went, I want to talk about one episode in particular from Rescue Rangers that's one of my favorites. And that is Double O Chipmunk. And this episode, as I've mentioned before, is chock full of firsts. It's the first time we see a very intelligent, inventive side of Dale. It's the first time we see a more sexy femme fatale side of Gadget. Basically, it's the first time we've seen the Rescue Rangers themselves outside of the comfort zone, and as we know them. But how should have went? How should have this episode went? Well, we're going to fast forward to basically before, right after we fade into the night. You see, we're about, 4 minutes in. Well, probably about 3 minutes in. And Dale decides he's going to enter Gadget's workshop and use some materials to create his own spy suit. Now you might say, well, what does this have to do with that? Of how it should have went? Hear me out. You see, one thing I noticed, and I'm sure a lot of people noticed this, when Dale revealed what he was doing to the others because he woke them up from their sleep, the only one that was really impressed by any of that was Gadget. Now you might say Chip might have had a impressed expression on his face too, but the one that was really impressed was Gadget. In fact, she would follow through on this by helping him out. And what I mean by helping him out is she would feel sorry for him because basically, from what I can tell, she understands where he's coming from and decides, you know what, I'm going to help him. I'm going to help him live out his dream. Well, as crazy as this might sound, this is how it should have went. And this is the honest truth. So, Dale decides to sneak out of his bed in the middle of the night, along with Zipper, to go into Gadget's workshop. Okay, so this is what we do. We extend the scene a little bit. We show Dale getting out of bed quietly, tiptoeing into Gadget's workshop. Tiptoeing towards her workshop, when all of a sudden, the light comes on. And there's Gadget standing right in the hallway, asking him what he's doing, getting ready to go into her workshop. Finally, Dale, believing and knowing, or just basically feels that Gadget would probably understand where he's going to come from, tells her what he wants to do. Explains to her what his plans are. He even would tell her that if it's not okay with her, he'll just go back to his room, go back to sleep. So after Dale tells Gadget what he wants to do, Gadget decides to help him. Yeah, she decides that it's kind of a cool idea. She kind of likes the idea. She thinks it's kind of a cool idea. And it'd be nice to kind of try something new when it comes to inventing and being innovative. So she helps him out. And then that is when the others wake up because they start hearing some noise. So they proceed, just like in the original version, to go to Gadget's workshop to see what's happening. and they see not just Dale, not just Zipper, but they see Gadget there. Now, they're not in the suits or anything. Dale and Zipper are not in the spy suits just yet, but they're getting ready to. So basically, Chip's asking, what's going on here? Why are you in Gadget's workshop? And, of course, this being Chip and Dale, Chip and Dale both kind of have affection for Gadget, or have a thing for Gadget. Chip would even ask, what are you doing in here with Dale? But like I said, the scene would go on as the original does, but like I said, instead of seeing Dale in there along with Zipper, they also see Gadget, and Chip of course starts to get on Dale and asking him what he's doing here, but on top of that, he sees Gadget, and of course, like I said, this being Rescue Rangers, he even asks Gadget, what is he doing in here with you, and vice versa. And they go, and from there you have basically Gadget, Dale and Gadget explain what's going on. You have Dale kind of talk for the most part, saying, hey, look, it was my idea. Gadget just decided she wanted to help out because it sounded neat. It sounded cool. So, long story short, we proceed to kind of do it. We proceed to have the scene play out almost similar to, or we have the rest of the scene after that play out to being similar to the original. We have Dale wanting to demonstrate what they've been working on. He puts on the suit. Gadget helps him a little bit put it on. And he demonstrates. And of course, there's a few kinks to still work out. Like I said, the scene plays out as usual. And the reason I would go this route, by having it play out this way, where Gadget would actually intercept them to find out what they're doing, to find out what Dale's doing going towards her workshop, and having Dale take the risk or take the chance to explain what he wants to do, and have Gadget be intrigued by it, that she even wants to help out, it makes the moment where she decides that if Dale wants to be a spy, she's going to help him. It makes it more meaningful. It makes it more impactful, and it basically brings the two closer together. It makes their friendship closer and stronger than it's ever been. And in a sense, because I've always felt that they were going to try to do this, because like I said, because I've always felt like they were planning to do this, had a Rescue Ranger movie been made originally back in that time, on that time frame, not only does altering the scene a little bit and going the route that I think it could have went or should have went, or how it could have went, with, like I said, Gadget intercepting Dale explaining what he's thinking of doing, and Gadget being intrigued and impressed by it, that she even helps him out. And then you let the rest of the scene alter that first just a bit with a few tidbits here and there, but you let the rest of it play out the way it did originally, up to the point where Gadget vows to help Dale out, by helping him live out his dream as a spy. It makes, like I said, the friendship between the two even stronger and more impactful. And it even strengthens the notion of what I think they were going for. Like I said, it strengthens the notion of what I think they were hinting at and wanting to go for, had a Rescue Ranger movie been made after the DuckTales movie, and that's putting Dale and Gadget together as an item. Now, I know some people may say, well, they never indicated that was going to happen. No, they didn't indicate it, but to me, even nowadays, there's so many hints dropped in that series that you pretty much knew that, even with the fact that they brought Foxglove in towards the end, that they were going to go the route of Dale and Gadget. That it was just set up that way, that had a movie been made, they would have gone forward. They would have gone through with it. They would have made it happen. But yeah, when I look at this episode, and I look at that one scene in particular, and I see how it could have went, with Gadget finding out about what they're doing, intercepting them, Dale explaining, taking a chance of, hey, this is what I want to do, but if not, that's cool. But if it's not okay, then cool, I'll just go back to bed kind of deal. And her being intrigued, interested, and like, hey, yeah, that sounds cool, I'll help you out kind of deal. I like the idea. Again, I think would have made the friendship between the two even stronger than it was before. And, like I said, it would strengthen the notion that these two could have became, or would have been, primed and set to be put together later on by Disney, because obviously that's what Tad Stones and the people working on the show were probably working towards in the end, like I said, had a movie come to be. But honestly, that's how I think Double O Chipmunk, and more particularly this scene, the reveal, Dale's spy reveal, should have came, or should have went, or how it could have went, with Gadget intercepting them as him and Zipper are trying to sneak into the workshop, him explaining his idea to her being intrigued to the point that she helps him out, and then, like I said, with a few alterations here and there, few alterations to the scene where you have Chip and Monterey wake up and find out see what's going on. With a few alterations here and there, you let the scene after that play out the way it did originally, even to the point that, like I said, Gadget vows to help Dale out. It makes the moment where she decides to do that, even with the tears in her eyes, more impactful, more emotional, and it makes the friendship between the two stronger and more tighter than it's ever been. And it definitely throws a strong hint at these two becoming an item, or becoming a couple, like I think the creative staff behind the show were planning on having happen later on. So anyway, that's how it should have went, in my opinion. How the Dale spy reveal should have went in Double O Chipmunk. Because I think it would have meant so much more. It would have been more of an emotional impact and more of a moment that fans could really get behind and support. So that's all I'm going to say, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like, and I will talk to y'all later.